Hey there, this is Beth, and I'm here with my husband, Trey Clark. Trey Clark Behavioral Training and Trey Clark's Doghouse. These are two ventures that we've been working on together. He works with me and helps me on my venture of Elizabeth Perpich Collection handbags, and we are taking on a new endeavor. And that's what I want to talk about today. It's Trey Clark's K-9 Kitchen. And it's a really exciting venture, and I just want Trey to tell us a little bit more about it. It's gourmet dog food, and it's for the smallest and the largest of dogs.
Yep.
From the smallest to high performance.
That's right. Well, what happened was, as you know, Yeti and Dolly, our German Shepherd and Great Pyrenees, have just suffered horribly from allergies, and nobody's been able to solve it with no matter what steroids or Benadryl, which, I don't want to just shoot up our dogs every spring. We're in the middle of allergy season. And I decided this year, I'm going to see if I can fix it with diet, just like we would, people. I worked at the club, GTAC, Galleria Tennis and Athletic Club, and we solved a lot of problems with people, even allergies, just with adjusting diets. I thought, why not put together a comprehensive thing, a menu for each kind of individual dog, at least for our dogs, and see what happens. And you can attest, we have not been to the vet, and our dogs' coats have not looked better.
Oh, they look wonderful. And I already know the answer to this, but tell us a little more of why this is different than something that is already on the market.
Well, I don't know how different it is from everything, but all I've done is gone after the products that are on the market that are similar, that are made with fresh everything. I mean, if you look at it, if you were to walk up on me cooking the dog food, you would think it's a pot of gumbo or something like that. So you may see shrimp or tilapia or salmon or beef chuck or ribeye or chicken thighs and breasts and all that kind of stuff. And then white rice and almond flour, all the things that you might want to be a performance person, and measured out for the dog. And so there's a way to do this to where it's not so expensive. And that's at least out of the gate, we're going to try and stay better than any competitors, which might be Farmer's Dog, some of those guys, or some of the raw foods, and then and be more inexpensive for now. I hope that it goes that way, but that's where your MBA comes in, right?
Yeah.
So that's the plan, and keep the packaging real simple. And what we do is we puree it after we boil it down like stew, and then we put it into ice cubes, which are half cups or quarter cups, depending on what size dog you have. And it's real easy to know exactly what you're giving your dog. And you can also put your meds and stuff in there, and instead of giving them one pill, which can kind of stunt your system, we can just spread it out over their entire diet, and it comes in every bite they get their stuff.
So did you come up with this yourself, or maybe some famous veterinarians that helped you?
I'm guessing you're talking about your parents.
Yeah.
So her dad, both of them, well, I guess they were founding faculty at I call it North Harris Community College for Equine Bearcat. But what is the rest of what's it been called?
Now it is changed its name to Lone Star College, and it's a community college district here in Greater Houston. And my parents were founding faculty members of the Vet Tech program.
And you also have ties to Auburn University, which is quite the veterinarian.
That is true. My mom is an Auburn Tiger, and she's a vet.
And so are you.
And so am I. I'm an Auburn Tiger.
Basketball player. 3-point leader, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, at one point,
yes. You tell me every day. Every time I miss. What happened was, I was just distraught like crazy over the our dogs
Mm-hmm.
just being miserable. Every time allergy season came, and it wasn't for lack of going to the veterinarians,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't for lack of Benadryl or steroid shots or whatever. They would just chew themselves raw. I was like, well, why don't we approach this the way that I did at the club, the Galleria Tennis and Athletic Club, where I was the executive chef and the food and beverage director. So I got to oversee a lot of athletes you've heard of, and a lot of members that were just there working with trainers, which are world class trainers. I was doing individual, menus for them, even if it's just for lunch or whatever. But I also, I went to school for this, and so I know the chemistry of food and what it does to the human body. I just needed help with what's it going to do to a dog's metabolism and body. And, we're omnivores, dogs are omnivores. So I figured it's got to be something similar. And the healthiest dogs I've ever had are dogs that just kind of eat what we eat, except for, the bad stuff. So that's where your mom came in and gave me some really good advice as far as, pay attention to the riboflavins, pay attention to beef instead of chicken. Even though chicken's not bad, it's just, make sure that they get what they get. And then, of course, I know my omega 3s and my B6, B12s, my, the complex vitamins and creatine and, all the stuff that helps for joints. And so I have a working knowledge of that. It's just, I just kind of felt like we had our bases covered. And I got to get back in the kitchen. I started feeding it to our dogs. And I'd be damned, it had to be 10 days. I was like noticing our dogs' coats were glowing. I mean, like oddly.
Truly glowing. Very beautiful.
You were there.
Yeah.
I mean, right now we're looking at, well, I'll post some pictures. And these are dogs that had shedding issues, like spots, like hot spots and stuff like that. We have not been to the vet this season at all.
It's amazing, and you definitely have all the experience for this, but I've got to ask the question, with all the things that you are good at and can do, why this endeavor? Why did you choose Trey Clark's K-9 Kitchen?
Well, it started with trying to solve a problem with diet, which, I've lived in the kitchen, plus we've been doing this a while for boarding and training, and you can only help one dog at a time doing it like this. And this is a way we can kind of reach out to the masses. And we have, it's just kind of seems tailor-made for what we're good at.
Yeah.
And are the people that are willing to help us and just put the best product. I think right now it is currently the best product you can purchase. And you get them in half cups or quarter cup cubes or things that look like little Reese's peanut butter cups. And if you have a little tiny dog, and so you know exactly what you're feeding the dog, and it's literally made just like you would make your kids' food. The only thing is it's pureed in the baby food. I was going to do a video where I was going to eat a bowl of it. I don't like eating baby food, but I would if you watch any of the videos of how I make it. It's and then we just freeze it and we package it up, and you just pull out a cube and serve it to them if you want a half cup. Serve them two if you want two. If they're older dogs and their teeth are not really the younger dogs, it's really good for them because they're frozen. They have to chew through it just like any other thing to get their teeth healthy. But if they're older and it's not really for that, just leave it out the night before. And it's before it goes frozen, it's kind of an oatmeal type consistency. And so I get to get in the kitchen, and I get to help owners. I get to help the dogs, and and I get to still stay in the game.
Yeah, and I get to work with you.
Exactly. Well, you've been burning the midnight oil with me lately.
And up early, I walk into the kitchen, I see you working away, and it's really cool for us to get to do together. And I just, anything else that you want to share?
Yeah, well, we're just now on the ground floor, so I'm going to post some pictures along with this. Hopefully, they'll display kind of what we're about. The whole thing is it's supposed to feel like you're getting food that's cooked out of a kitchen, and a lot of people claim that, and there's a lot of other good products out there, and I'm not knocking those. I know that our dogs have gone from having 2.5 to 3 months of misery to nothingness as far as that. They've never seen their coats. They're not even shedding as much. And we got a Great Pyrenees, a German Shepherd, and then a mutt that looks like a miniature Rottweiler. And their coats are just shining. And also our other clients. So really the way I got into it is I was making it for my dogs, and I was sending it home with our clients that either do daycare or training. And as soon as the dogs eat them, they won't eat anything else. Which, to me, I was like, "Whoa, that's a good." They're like, "They don't want anything else. Can you make some more?" Of course, my business mind started going off, and I was like, "Oh, let's see." And then we started making it. Now every single client and we're up to about 25 clients now, and about half of them have been up for reorders, and they've everyone who's up for a reorder, and I know what the dogs eat because we feed them. We get to see what the dogs eat. If we have, a German Shepherd and a Rottweiler and a Poodle, and all that stuff, we know that we get instructions given to us, right? And we see what they eat, and we usually ask them, can we feed them our food while they're here, because we usually don't have them bring their food. And then when they go home, we'll send them home with a little something, a little sample, and they won't eat their other food. And that's kind of by design, but it's dogs are very keen on what they need in their system. And so, they're omnivores. So everything's filled with fresh vegetables. There might be canned, peas and carrots or something like that, or canned green beans. But for the most part, the beef, the chicken, everything is just like you would buy it at the grocery store, which is exactly where we buy it. And so it's just been fun watching our dogs get healthier. It's been fun being in the kitchen, and it's something that I really have a passion for dogs, and I have a passion for being in the kitchen, and it just makes sense that that's what we're doing. With your parents being veterinarians that can advise us, and with you and your history here, years now, 3 years now with the doghouse and knowing what they eat, you do the feeding.
That's right. And I can see an immediate difference, and just in the want from the dog, the anticipation and the excitement for food.
And then with your, you've got your MBA and all this stuff, so we've got a good business plan. I've run 2 businesses so far from startup to now that have been successful, and we know how to deliver. I just think it's going to be a great product. And if you want to give us a shot, I bet you come back the second time.
That's great.